Good morning. Welcome to day 11 of a 45-day legislative session. I'm Senator Dan McCay. Thank you for tuning into these short videos. Appreciate having you. You know, there's a lot going on here at the Capitol. We've talked about the budget before. Today is the deadline for RFAs, a request for appropriation. And what happens is, there are outside groups or inside groups, and they, groups at the departments of the state, or lobbyists, or even nonprofit groups. They come up to the Capitol and they're asking for appropriations from the state budget. And so the only way they get to have their issue heard is if a representative or senator makes that request. And so everybody's feverishly trying to get their requests in so they can at least be heard in a hearing and have the opportunity to make their case for why they ought to fit into the budget. We have a few of those we're working on today. That process is always interesting because there's always a lot of asks and a little bit of money. So that's always something that's tough to balance and is an issue that we're constantly dealing with up here. One of the big issues that we've been dealing with this legislative session is dealing with higher ed. As part of our budgeting process, we told them to come up with what a significant cut would look like, and they did. And obviously that's makes higher ed nervous for lots of reasons. But one of the things we're looking is we're taking that money that they've talked about cutting, and now we're talking about reallocating that money so that we better meet the organization's strategic goals, and really trying to refine their objectives. We have seen higher ed, when my parents were younger, higher education was like 14% of their annual income as far as a cost. Today, it's over 40% of our kids' annual income. So as a result, higher ed has just gotten a lot more expensive and a lot harder for them to stay in school. So we're trying to make sure that we're right sizing and getting education right. So that's an important part of higher ed, important part of the budget. Lots going on. We've got a town hall coming up next week. Make sure you review the newsletter, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for tuning in.